Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Red Devil's Disciples. It's your boy Rob, and we're here with the post-match review where, fucking hell, what can I say? Spurs draw, Villa loss, chance to close points on them after we threw away Brentford. Because we did throw away Brentford, let's be honest about it. 12th place Chelsea, although it's misleading because they have 2 games in hand and they could catch up and be just 2 points behind us if they win those 2, including today's game. Against 6th place Man United. A win today takes us within 6 points of Spurs. Liverpool on Sunday. And once again, we fucked it up, let's be honest. I mean, it's one of those games where disappointment doesn't quite reflect how I'm feeling, as you can hear by the language I'm using. Like, it is... I just don't understand. I just don't understand why we cannot close games out. Why we are vulnerable when we start defending. Yes, I get it. All these injuries in defence, I do get it. I do understand that. But, come on, man. 98th minute. To concede the second penalty of a game for poor defending. Don't even get me started on the penalties. 2 soft-ass penalties that in any other game, like, that's a dive, bro. That's a dive. But to have 2 of them given against us, just soft, poor defensive play is what it was. Anyways, first half. Immediately, the first thing I noticed was Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka swapped wings. You know, I thought this is their stronger side. It's Aaron Wan-Bissaka's stronger side. Dalot has a good relationship with Garnacho. He was playing at left because Rashford got dropped. So I understand the thinking behind it. But within 4 minutes, Conor Gallagher was left alone. Sloppy play from Mainu with a poor pass. Dalot has already run forward, had already made a run to expecting to receive a ball on the counter. And Mainer's poor pass got caught out. Don't get me wrong, Maine did that a couple times today. We misplaced passes, and he almost cost us a game later on in the game. And then he goes and does goal-saving tackles, like in the 88th minute. So I just don't understand. Not one of his better games. Let's put it that way. Apart from that, I've got a note here, and I'm not going to lie to you. I put a note here saying, still confident, even after going 1-0 down. So I saw the way we started. 18th minute penalty, very soft penalty, where Anthony came across. But if you come across, you're going to give away a penalty. Cole Palmer, cool as you like, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. I've got a note here saying, still confident. Believe it or not. That's what my note here says. Still confident. Still confident of what? I don't know. Delusion, maybe. But I just felt we'd come back into the game. I did. And then Garnacho capitalised on a mistake by Casero. Took the keeper on. Great goal. Do you know what I mean? Come a little bit later. Not just a few minutes later. Dalot gets the ball on the wing. Crosses him. Bruno with a great header. Gave a great shout to Højlund, asking him to leave the ball. So it was good communication there. But 2-2, you know. At the half, here come the injuries. Varane subbed off for Evans at the half, who seems to have a muscular injury. We started really positive in that second half. We took the game to Chelsea. You could see Anthony gaining confidence, like he really fancied taking on Cucurella. You know, he really thought he had the beating of him, and he did, to be fair, which was no surprise that our 3-2, our third goal, came from the right wing with a beautiful pass with the outside of the foot of Anthony. But everyone will be saying, oh, beautiful pass. My thing is, you should be using your right foot there. I don't know why you're using the outside of the left foot to cross from a wing. You should be using your right foot. You should be able to use your right foot. And I think that's one of Anthony's weaknesses. And it's why I don't think he'll work at Manchester United. One-footed wingers never work. We had it with Antonio Valencia, who only had a right foot, right? Worked at right back, but not at the winger. Moving on from there. You know, it was one of those where great cross, Garnacho fantastic 3-2. Subs that happening, Casemiro came off, Haaland came off, and Garnacho came off. All of a sudden, we lose that counter attack. I do want to mention though Mason Mount. I thought he looked very good today. I think it may be a case of it's time to maybe give him a start against Liverpool. He looked hungry for the ball. He looked like he wanted to go and get involved in the game. All of a sudden, you see 8 minutes held up on the 99th minute. Penalty. Possibly the last attack of the game, had that not been given as a penalty, was given as a penalty. Very soft penalty again. But it comes from poor defending. Dallas showed him down the line, but showed him down the line whilst encouraging him to go inside, looking at his body position, which meant that when he got beat down the line, his body position was wrong. If he was going to show him down the line, he should have switched his foot in. He had his right foot. If you look at his body position, it's almost like I'm faster than you, I'm going to show you the inside, but if you go on the outside, I'm going to be able to catch up to you. And he was wrong. He got caught out. Very soft penalty, I'm not going to lie. Very, very soft penalty. But it was given, and there's nothing more you can say about that. Cole Palmer steps off, cool as a cucumber. Again, sends him out of the wrong way. Then the game, United tried to push forward to try and get the goal. Chelsea hit on the counter, catch us out, and then corner given. United fast asleep in the corner. Cole Palmer very switched on. Reminded me of the, if you remember, Champions League final where Liverpool Trent caught out. What's it called? These guys, I can't remember who it was, but I remember it was in the Champions League. Caught him out with a pass, which got them the winner. Origi scored, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't exactly remember, but it reminded me of that a little bit, where Palmer sort of looking around, looking to see who's around him, see who's clocked onto the fact that he's by himself, jogs to the side, receives a great ball, to be fair, switched on, smacks it, hits McTominay, deflects into the back of the net. What can I say? This is the lineup we went with. Given what we had in terms of... Oh, you can see I haven't put Anthony there, but Anthony should be here. I'll see where my arrow is. But given what we had, I actually would have probably gone with Diallo instead of Anthony. I said this in the start of the... in my preview. However, I understand, and I've got to give credit to Anthony. He had a good game today. He just frustrates me that it took him realising that he was faster than the left back to actually take him on, and then all of a sudden he wanted to take him on every time. And not having a right foot is frustrating for a winger. In terms of player ratings, I'm going to land on a 5. Should have done better in the first goal. Penalty's not really his fault. He just looks like he's not. He just looks like he's a liability. Like, there's only so many times a goalkeeper can concede like 4 or 5 goals. You know what I mean? And look like a top class goalie. And I think that first goal he should have done better and stopped it. And had that happened, a lot of what happened in this game wouldn't. Excuse me, still recovering. As you can tell. Like my video yesterday was all over the place, wasn't it? I had the wrong dates on it, everything. Tell you, I was bedbound. In my head, I was on the wrong day of the week. But yeah, no, I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. Diego Dallo, I've given a 5.5. Got caught out of position for the first goal, but it wasn't his fault. That was a poor pass from Manu. I thought he had a good fight with Palmer. It was a good battle, but I do think Palmer won that battle. Forget about the goals at the end of the game. Throughout the game, I think that Palmer got the better of him today. He's a real talented young lad. I think he's going to be a superstar. If I were Southgate, I'd be really considering, playing the guy and how we fit him in. Great cross from Dallo with the assist for Bruno. It was very good. That's what Dallo brings to the table. But then he gave away the penalty at the end of the game. Had he just been a little bit more solid down the left back position, and just simply cleared the ball. You know, forced him to the middle, or if you're going to force him to the wing, force him to the byline. You know, I think that would have been game. Instead, they got a goal, and then World Cup came to life, got that belief, and then, you know, called us out. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I gave him a 6. I thought he was solid at right back. You know, I thought he was decent. Didn't really put much foot wrong today, but also didn't really do much in terms of contributing to the team, in terms of, you know, trying to bring additional things to the team, if you know what I'm trying to say. Apart from that, I've gone with Harry Maguire. I gave him a 6. I can't consciously give a defender higher than a 6 if they've conceded 4 goals in a game. Granted, not many of those goals were his fault, but I can't consciously have you concede 4 goals and give you anything higher than a 6. Varane, I gave it 5.5. Did okay. You know, got subbed off at the half with an injury. These injuries are absolutely killing us at the moment. That destroyed our season. Mainu, I gave a 6. I thought he was really good at times in defence, but then he misplaced the pass for the first goal. You know, had a rocky start, misplacing a few passes. Great with his tackling, great with his positioning. You know, second half I thought he won the battle with Gallagher to the point that, you know, he got frustrated and went to take him out at one point. But then 86th minute, wayward pass, almost cost us. Got lucky that actually at that point that it didn't sort of you know, get turned into anything. And then 2 minutes later, he does a goal save and tackle where he literally dives and tackles, and you're thinking, oh shoot, we're going to see this game out, you know. Casemiro, I've given him a 5.5. I thought he was a bit unlucky on the first goal. He tracked very well, and I could see that he was conscious of Gallagher's sort of threat. But at times in the game, he just looks leggy, to be honest with you. He looks like he's a step behind. I think today that cost us early on in the game. And then obviously once he got subbed off, actually I think we looked even more exposed, which why I completely understand why Eric Ten Hag is playing him. When McTominay replaces him, we're left even more vulnerable. McTominay making runs beyond last man and attack in the last few minutes rather than let's keep the ball and sort of see the clock out, you know. Bruno, I've given him a 6. Scored a goal, did well, but just didn't give enough for me in terms of performance overall. I kind of want to see more from him, or at least from someone who's going to be our captain. I think back to the Roy Keanes, think back to you know, the Cantonars and this and the other. When it's crunch time, they delivered. And I'm not saying it's all on Bruno, but I am saying that as a captain, you should have fucking told your team, square up, you know, and get ready, you know, focus. None of this little shitty putting your head down and so forth, you know. And I just feel like we're not really getting that from him at the moment. Which kind of questions he is turning. He's turning 30, I believe. Let me just look it up. I think he's turning 30 soon. And there's, yeah, he's 29. Turns 30 this year. Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? You know. Great servant to the club. Don't want to talk disparagingly about him. But, you know, if we are doing a rebuild, how deep are we going to go into this rebuild, you know? Garnacho next. What can I say? I thought he was great. I thought he was a player of the match for us. 8.5. Other than Palmer at the end of the game, I thought he was the best player on the pitch. And Palmer was just those last few minutes where he looked like outstanding. Palmer looked good throughout the game, but Garnacho did too. And Garnacho, you know, capitalised on the mistake from Caicedo to beat defenders and slot into the back of the net. And then when Anthony crossed that in, finished it off with his head. Great header in terms of controlling the header. He's not the best header in the world, is he? But good control, everything. He looked dangerous throughout the whole game. He really did. And we sub him off, and the threat disappears. And it's a constant theme. We sub him off, and our threat disappears. I understand the thinking. We got Liverpool on Sunday, but it cost us today. 8.5 I've given him today. I thought he had a great game. On the other wing, Anthony, I've given him a 7.5. I thought Anthony had a solid game. Gave away the penalty due to poor defensive positioning, but from that point picked himself up and sort of, started moving the ball around better, started attacking defenders, which I haven't seen from our wingers. Beat Cucurella on the sprint at about the, I want to say about the 55th minute. And from that point, just every time he got it, just went right at him. Which is, I kind of want to see that more from him. I think with Anthony, great assist to Garnacho. I think with Anthony, the thing is, it's great having all these tricks. He has acceleration over the first meter or two, but he doesn't have the sprint speed, and that's concerning. He doesn't have a right foot, and that's concerning. We know Cucurella isn't the fastest left back in the world. Let's be honest. But Anthony isn't the fastest winger in the world, and I think we've been spoiled over the years with fast wingers, and selfishly that's what I want to see. I want to see wingers that can attack players, that can sprint past them, not ones that are going to get to them, do a couple of tricks and turn back. But I've given him 7.5. Give him his credit, even though he did give away that first penalty really stupidly in the first few minutes. He did try really hard to sort of win it back. He had a good game today. Højlund, giving him a 6, but he was quiet, wasn't he? I think 6 might be a bit kind. 5.5 might be more accurate. This guy's just not getting any service whatsoever. And then when he does get the ball, he can't exactly beat players with a dribble, can he? Great at finishing, but he's not that kind of player that's going to get the ball and dribble past 3 or 4 players. So I think we need to facilitate that and understand the type of striker that he is. Subs. We had a lot of subs. We had Varane off for Evans, should I say. At the half, 20 minutes later, Evans came off for Koumbala, who at the same time Rashford came on. For Højlund. What I would say is Evans, for those 20 minutes he was there, looked incredible, man. It's a real shame he picked up an injury, because he looks solid, like he always does. Then obviously Mount came on. No, McTominay came on first for Casemiro, and then Mount came on for Garnacho, and then we played Mason Mount down the left wing. I thought Mason Mount looked very good. McTominay I thought left us vulnerable, to be honest with you. And I'd love to see him, instead of that sub, Mount in midfield. If you were going to take Casemiro out and leave McTominay, don't sub on McTominay, or push McTominay up front and push Rashford to the left wing. That's what I would like to see him there. So I'm going to give props to Mount. I thought he looked solid today. You could see that he's coming back from injury, and he almost looks like he wants to be there, like on the pitch, like he wants to get out there and prove his worth, kind of thing. Like he's got a chip on his shoulder. And then in terms of everything else, Bombala I thought did pretty well today. He looked solid. I cannot blame him for any of the goals from the point that he came in. The 2 goals conceded. One was a penalty, nothing could have done about that. And the other one was, normally a winger would pick up the players on the outside, and just lack of communication. A little like a lack of leadership on the pitch. And that's what cost us today. I predicted a 2-1 for us as a win. Final score was not 3-3. That's bollocks. You can tell that I put this in right after the penalty, and I was just too fucking annoyed to change it. Final score was 4-3 Chelsea. I want to say that again. Final score was 4-3 Chelsea. I'm still sick, as you can tell. Clearly making fucking mistakes. I'm also fuming, guys. I feel like we've been let down big time. I feel like how the hell we lost that game today. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Anyways, our focus was get the wingers involved. They will tighten up in the centre of the pitch, like I said, and that's what happened. All their play came through the middle of the fucking pitch. But we did get our wingers involved, and we exploited the wings, and that's where all of our goals pretty much came from. Controlled the middle of the park like fuck did we. It was a good battle, don't get me wrong, great battle, but 2 soft penalties cost us the game, as well as lack of concentration at the end of the match. Get the ball into Hoyland, absolutely did not happen. You know, I just don't know what to say in that one. Like, it just isn't happening, you know. And then my final thoughts, guys, are real simple. We cannot finish games off. We cannot concentrate for the full game. We fall down the sideline. If we score early, we are vulnerable at the end of the game. We have no leaders on that pitch. Well, it's a bit harsh. Our leaders on the pitch are not good enough. Simple as that. Yes, having players like Varane, Martinez, you know, those guys on the Evans even on the pitch would have made a bloody difference. Of course it would have. But we are where we are, and I can comfortably say kiss the Champions League goodbye now. This is the end for us. You know, there's no more Champions League hoping that we're going to get into it, because we're not. We're done. Europa League will be lucky to do that. We'll probably be in the Conference League due to our ownership situation. Boy, things are looking bleak. The only thing we do have is that FA Cup to hope for. You know, get a trophy, and then we'll see. Kind of go from there. But it was poor. It was poor. Exciting game for a neutral. Exciting game at times, yeah. But do we really want end-to-end exciting games, or do we want controlled games where we take the lead and sort of dominate? You know, every game seems to be end-to-end cup final type thing, where it's a puncher's chance, one blow each kind of thing. That's not good enough for Manchester United. So I'm disappointed. I'm fuming. I'm sick. Annoyed I stayed up for this. 11 o'clock at night, 11:15. Yeah, I'm old, guys. I go to bed early. But feeling a little bit heartbroken, not going to lie. But it is what it is. As fans, we get back up and we go back out there. Anyways, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whether you're a United fan or fan of another team, you just want to see me be miserable, which I know some of you do. Have a great night, guys, and hopefully we'll pick ourselves up on Sunday and go back for it.